Hello, in this video we're going to talk about the final blog posts for BCM241 Media Ethnographies. And in this week you'll be preparing ahead of the video pitch presentations that you'll be doing for your digital artifacts. So in week one, let's just get that slide. In week one, you had a kind of preliminary thought piece about your media niche, what you have experience in, what you might have an expertise in or would like to develop an expertise in, and a particular area that you think that you might be able to do ethnographic research in. Very much just a starting point for the subject. In week two, you started to think a little bit more carefully about the network of relations involved in the media niche and start to map the field that you would investigate for your ethnographic research project. In week three, you started to focus on the method for your research, thinking about how you would deploy observational research and autoethnography as a way to investigate your media niche specifically. Here you started to problematize and started to think about what were some of the issues involved in that media niche. You went on record about thinking about what the process for gathering data about this media niche and how you were going to examine that data. And you kind of were going on record as to say, okay, I'm going to do this in this week, and that's going to form the data that I'm then going to analyze using a particular analytical framework. The goal for this week has two parts. The goal is to do background research at the same time as thinking about the ethical questions associated with observational practices and autoethnography. And so this means, thinking about how you're going to represent the media niche that you're investigating and how you're going to avoid using other people's expressions at the same time as kind of trying to talk to a public audience about the media niche. It's quite tricky. You're going to have to think about, how you represent the process of accessing the niche without showing how other people are doing it. So it's very much thinking through what the ethical implications are for your approach and for your particular media niche. And so we're trying to get you also in this post to dig in deep into some of the academic and scholarly research available that will help you build your analytical framework, your theoretical paradigm for what you're going to do in terms of analyzing the data that you're collecting. And so you're going to be engaging in background research. Of course, you've got the library catalogs and databases. You've got Google Scholar. And if you don't know how to use these resources, please do speak up in the tutorial and, say to your tutor, look, I just don't know how to do this. Can you give me some tips? Can you give me some guide? We're absolutely eager and keen to help you to help you find resources to help expand your analysis. There are two ways to go about doing background research. One is to focus on your topic, right? So say you're doing podcasts, look at the research out there that has been done on podcasts, particularly qualitative studies and ethnographic studies of podcasts. But the other is to think about some of the more general and connected areas, because sometimes you won't find the research on exactly the topic that you're interested in. So you have to think a bit more laterally. You have to start to look at other types of research and other types of studies and other types of media analysis that might inform your thinking and way of going about things. So, for example, you might find that there are ethnographic studies of radio and the history of radio that is relevant to thinking about the current experience of podcasts. So rather than focusing on topic, you can focus on lateral interests. that will expose you to a range of theoretical lenses, political and critical approaches, and of course a range of different paradigmatic frameworks for thinking about that, which you can use and adapt and modify to help expand the data analysis that you're doing with regards to your field notes. So I appreciate that there's quite a lot to kind of fit in this week. By now, though, that we've seen that you're doing great posts. You've got the process, you've got the technique. Think about this really as the kind of final preparation for your pitch videos. And I will be back next week for a short vlog on how to prepare your pitch videos for your in-class presentations. I look forward to reading your blogs, and I'll talk to you then.